Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today we are just in the grow space and I just wanted to, well, we're getting to a time of the year. It's now the end of September. It's the last weekend of September. The temperatures are starting to get cooler outside. I don't know why I'm out of breath. Maybe just a long sentence. So the temperatures are starting to get cooler outside, so I've got to really start thinking about bringing stuff in. I've got two concerns this year because one, going to be moving next spring, so I have to take into consideration where I put stuff, how I put stuff, and when we show the house, the grow space has to be sort of okay. And unfortunately, in my grow space, I have the electrical panel, so people might look at my plants and say, oh, I don't like this, too much moisture in here, there's going to be problems with the electrical panel. Never fear, people. I keep things on the dry side, so inside. So, as you guys all know, I kill things because it's too dry. So anyway, now that the outside temperature is starting to get to be 10 degrees Celsius at night, I need to start thinking about bringing in tropicals. Things like elephant ears, the Brickmansia are going to be fine outside no matter what. Well, not no matter what, but until it gets closer to frost. But things like bananas, things that are super tropical, things like bananas, unless you have Musabashu, which is a cold hardy variety, you're going to notice blackening on the leaves of the more tropical ones. So the end-set banana, they'll just start to look yucky. If you have any of the dwarf Cavendish bananas, they're just going to start getting black spots all over them. It's probably not going to kill them, but it's going to look like they're gross, and they're really going to stop growing. Anything below 15 degrees Celsius, and I notice that they really start to stop the growth. Anything lower than 10, they get gross looking, and they really don't do anything. So if you store them inside and you keep them in a cool spot, if you have like a cold cellar that doesn't freeze, maybe around 12 degrees Celsius, I'm not doing the conversions in my head for Fahrenheit, I apologize. You could potentially leave it bare root in the dark in those spots. It probably will not even attempt to grow. A little bit of light is beneficial, but it'll just kind of stand still all winter. Anyway, I'm rambling. This video is more about what I'm doing to prepare my grow space to allow these things to come in. So without further ado, oh, and I also bought this little light meter. It is a fantastic little addition to my little grow area, because now I can have an idea of what my lights are emitting for useful energy for the plants to some degree. They're fluorescent bulbs. It's okay. Anyway, not going into much detail. So sitting here at my grow space, at my little bench, it is 500-foot candles, so that is low light. So things like African violets, Phalaenopsis, whatever will grow fine. Right here on my table, anything lower light is fine. Anything like a Cattleya orchid or a really tropical plant, say a bird of paradise or something like that, would need a lot more light. I'm trying to think of things that stretch. Cactus would not do well on here. They would try to stretch. You'd need to keep them on the really low moisture side, keep them very dry, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that they won't try to stretch. Anyway, let's take a look at this. First, okay, I'm jumping. Let's take a look at the grow space. And I've cleaned things up. Oh my goodness, you should have seen it earlier. I should have taken a before and an after, because it was just like a bomb hit it. It was terrible. Pots all over the place. Ooh, in the new grow space, I'm going to have a wash tub. The laundry room is going to be upstairs, but the wash tub is downstairs. So the wash tub is going to be in my grow space. Right now I have to bucket water, oh my god, downstairs. If I need to shower something off because it has bugs, that's why bugs seem to get out of control here, because I don't have a space where I could just quickly take it and rinse it off. It really takes an effort, and when you have a lot of infestation, it just seems to really compound itself. So for every plant, I'd have to take it up to, say, the kitchen or in the bathroom and wipe it down and wash it and thoroughly rinse it. And then I usually just spray things down here, but you really need to rinse off the leaves from time to time, because you add the soap to it and it just adds a residue. So to rinse them off after a day or two after spraying them is a really beneficial idea. So anyway, wow, this has been a really rambly video. Let's pick up the camera and look around. I'll show you what I've done, and there's still a lot more work to be done, and I need to pull stuff down. Again, I'm rambling. Wow, Bill. Wow. No coffee this morning. Believe that. Anyway, come on. So here is my grow table. Well, not the grow table, the potting bench, let's call it. And on here I have some Phalaenopsis orchids. These guys are infested with mealybugs. I've been trying to segregate them. Here's a mealy right there, the little jerk. So I was trying to spray it with some Endol, but the bottle didn't want to spray. So I'm going to take those upstairs and rinse them off. Again, same situation. It's a lot of work to go up and down the stairs. I usually take 2 or 3 with me, rinse them off, bring them downstairs. But when you have quite a lot of plants, it just becomes overwhelming. So that's my problem. But in the new house, not going to be a problem. Not going to be an issue. And I'm also going to do an inline fertilizer feeder. So feeding is not going to be an issue either. Woo! Anyway. Wow, Bill, you got a lot of energy. So the potting table, I'm going to be doing some potting up of some Alsobia. I'm going to do some cutting. So stay tuned for more videos on the Gesneriad family. I'm going to do some potting videos. So I've got lights going on, as you can see up here. Right now, because we're starting into a new season in the grow space, it's probably a good idea to replace your light bulbs, even though they're probably still working like mine are. You'll notice a huge difference when you're using fluorescent bulbs. That over about 6 months they really start to dim. You don't notice it. They look very bright, but when you put in a new one, you'll notice, oh my goodness, it's like 50% brighter. It's amazing what happens over time. So let's actually take this light meter, and right next to the lights, it shows at almost 2,500 lumens or foot candles. So if I move it just slightly down, see the needle is going down, so about a foot away from the lights, we're about, I'm going to say about 1,800 foot candles, and then as you get farther down, it just drops dramatically. So this is why you want to keep your lights as close to your plants as possible. Unless, of course, you have low light plants, then you can have them up higher. And one of these light meters is probably a really good one to have. This one's from Hydroform, as you can see, or Hydrofarm. And it's called Active Eye. It was $29.99 on Amazon here in Canada. You might be able to find it cheaper elsewhere. So again, you want to make sure that your lights are as close to your plants as possible. In the new grow space, I'm going to be able to expand a little bit and have more like-sized plants closer together. Right now I have a mix of sizes. As you can see, I have this Phalaenopsis down at the bottom, and then I have this Hoya in the back that's crushed up against the top. So the light levels maybe aren't what they should be. I should have, for my Phalaenopsis, I should have the light about here, and for other ones, maybe a little higher. But anyway, this works for me now. It's not going to kill anything. Let's grab this light meter. This one is 2 bulbs of T5s, or sorry, not T5s, T12s. And right up close to the light bulbs, see, it's only 500, maybe 700 foot candles. So that's a very, very dim light. So a highlight plant is not going to thrive in this situation. And then closer down, it's only at about 400. So right under the lights, it's the same as what it is at my on my potting bench. So just keep that in mind when you're growing inside. Light levels really are important, especially for the different types of plants that we're growing. If you bring an elephant ear inside, it's not going to do very well in a lower lit spot. You're going to notice that the leaves would get smaller. You'll notice the growth will get stretched, and it just won't be as nice. So the more light you can give it, the better it will be. So what I've done here on my grow stand is I've washed off the grates and I've scrubbed down the trays underneath, trying to get rid of any debris, any place for bacteria to grow. And I just used soapy water and a hard bristle brush and got off as much of the crud as I could. And now we're ready to go for the new season. Actually, this here is the for drop ceiling. It's that light grate that you put over your lights, and I've just used that. I've cut it to size, and I've made it as a little I'm going to say a humidity tray, so the water will drip down, but the plants won't be sitting in it, and then it adds humidity around the plants. So I found that that's quite useful, and you can buy those grates quite inexpensive at the local hardware store. So this is my grow space. I took out this shelf that was here, all the pots and stuff, and because in the wintertime I can't get to it because of all the big tropical plants. So this would be an eyesore for any potential buyer that was coming into the house. And the floors, I've tried to sweep up I've got my 2 watering cans. One of them is for fertilizer, one of them's for plain water. Underneath here I need to do a little bit more cleanup. I've got some storage of different types of soil, media, different products in totes. And so yeah, this is the grow space. It's coming along. Pretty soon, the next video I do of the grow space will have all of the plants in here. This is where the black shelf is going to go. That's outside housing all of my tropicals that come inside, all the small ones. And I've got these lights here, just a 2 bulb. I believe they're T8s. So these do just fine. I'm going to hang those. Hopefully that will be the African violet growing zone or the Gesneri growing zone, but we'll see. And I have the fan. I had to turn it off because it makes too much noise. So anyway, this is my grow space right now. Just cleaning it up. Remember to change your lights if you use fluorescents at least once a year. They do recommend doing it twice a year, but if you get yourself a light meter, you can tell whether they need to be changed or not by the amount of light that they emit. It would be neat to use this on a brand new light bulb to see what that reads and then what it reads over time after it ages. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. My grow space is coming along. We had a leak in the basement and we had to rip all the insulation down, but we got to put that back up before we sell it because that's just an eyesore. The jobs that have to be done. Anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing. We did a repot video of this one in the fall last year, and I told you that it was going to get much bigger than it was, and it has done beautifully this year. It stands almost as tall as me. I would say it's close to 6 feet tall in the pot, but